Ooh.
Yes, up.
I got you up. Up and running.
All right, hey everyone. Thank you for coming to It's a Wrap. As you know, we have Karen here, and we have Elijah, and come out of the corner. We have our kennel assistant, Christopher. He will just want to say hi to everybody. You'll be seeing Chris do some of the Meet the Dogs. So he's going to be...
Yes.
So he's going to be trained on pretty much what we have to say when we do the Meet the Dog. And so you'll be seeing Chris's face, other than feeding the dogs out there. You'll be seeing him a little bit more, which is great. So let me see what happened this week. We had Monday was our Advantix and our ivermectin, which is our parasite prevention program. So they had those. If anyone is looking to donate anything to Service Dog Project, we definitely need more Advantix. It's for the extra large, over 55-pound dogs. Tuesday, some of our dog handlers found out that Rambo does not like to eat with any other dog, and that includes Chip. Evidently, there was a little bit of a scuffle out there with Rambo wanting to get Chip's food, and Chip didn't like that, but it was mostly a lot of growling and a lot of noise. Nobody got hurt. On Wednesday, I did hear from our little dog, Piglet, who is actually very, very large. His new name is Mr. Big. He does live in Maine, and he had a vet appointment, which went very well, so everything was good with him, but I just wanted to let you know that we did hear from Piglet. Thursday, our maintenance man, Uncle Bud, everyone loves Uncle Bud, he actually had the barn generator serviced, and just found out that it was acting a little bit off, just needed some new spark plugs. Who would have thought that a small little spark plug could make things operate so smoothly? So we have new spark plugs on the way for those, and we'll make sure that we have them because we do have quite a few generators here. We had a Girl Scout troop, which Haley was very nice, and she took them around. She showed them things. They asked great questions, which she was able to answer, and hopefully we see some of those Girl Scouts back here helping out occasionally from time to time. So that went really well. Thursday was also Veterans Day, so again, thank you very much to all those veterans who served for us. That was awesome. Friday we had Wilson, Bentley, and Sizzle all had their updated rabies shots. So Wilson had his 1 year, and Bentley and Sizzle, they got theirs a little bit early. They were due beginning of December, but I figured while we had the vet here, better early than late. So they had their 3-year rabies shot, so they're all set for another 3 years. And our barn boiler or furnace was actually serviced, and that was quite the production. That boiler is big enough to heat an entire colony. It is enormous, and it has never truly been fully serviced before, so Bud made the phone call. They came down. We need a few little parts, little just maintenance parts for it, which they'll come back and install. And you gotta figure that thing runs 24/7. It runs in the summertime for the air conditioning. It runs in the wintertime for the heat. You know, it hasn't broken down, and hopefully it will not break down at all. And you know, like I said, we're just trying to be very preventative around here, being proactive, making sure things operate as smoothly as possible. Let's see. Also, we had our 2 puppies from Florida arrived on Friday afternoon. And a lot of people asked how they got there. I did not drive out to Florida, nor did I fly out. We use a pet chauffeur company. It's a father-daughter team who actually chauffeurs pets all around the United States. He doesn't use crates. He sleeps with the dogs in the back of his van, or he also has a truck. He will take the dog from point A to point B, and the entire journey I was able to update on our Facebook pictures of the dogs. Every time he stopped, he would give me pictures of the dogs and what the dogs are doing, how they're reacting, if they're a little bit shy, if they're just little hellions, etc. And he is absolutely wonderful. So we used the same company when we had Wilson brought in, and we will be using him quite often, actually, if we decide to move any dogs around within the United States. So he actually has family here in Massachusetts, so for us to get him from Florida to Massachusetts is pretty easy. And we've actually been able to give him a referral. Somebody wants a pet transferred from Rhode Island to Florida, and he's going to work his magic and make that happen. It's an older dog, it's not a Dane, but he said absolutely. He loves animals, and that's important. So that was all Friday. Saturday I wasn't here, so I really couldn't tell you too much about anything that happened here on Saturday. But today is Sunday. We had Cole. He just left. He was here for 11 days. His humans came and picked him up. He's going to be gone for a few days, and then they have another 4-day appointment that they need to go to, so he'll be back. And at the same time that he comes back, we're going to have Sky, Misha, and Scarlet coming in just for a couple of nights while Betsy takes care of a little bit of business. So, and to give you a quick update as far as what next week looks like, and I'm only going to give you Monday because I have a full schedule next week. But Monday we're going to be, the trainers and I are going to Endicott College. They asked us to come and bring some dogs with us just for a couple of hours. We are going to just do some de-stressing of some kids over there. So just let the dogs hang out, let the kids interact with the dogs, see what the dogs are all about, bring a couple of puppies so they can actually play with the dogs, and just get involved with them, help them de-stress from their regular college days. We have Paula's humans, so that's the Totos are coming, and they are coming on Monday afternoon, so watch for them. They're coming to see how Moira and Alexis are doing. Those are Paula's two little ones. So they're very excited about coming and seeing. They're just going to stop by for a very short visit. And on Monday, I told you I have a lot to talk about today.
There you go.
We have an event and fundraising team that we've put together. I put an email out to some staff and volunteers to see who would like to join, just kind of bounce some ideas off of each other about doing some fundraising. And we have some events coming up, and who can help us out with these events by, sitting at a table, talking to people, telling about the dogs, while the trainers and the dog handlers are moving dogs back and forth. So that is actually going to be on a Zoom meeting on Monday evening. One of the things that we are talking about is our setup of our Christmas tree over at Marine Farm. The setup date is the 21st of November, so that's right around the corner. And I want to say thank you to everybody for all those wonderful tree ornament donations. Unbelievable. Our tree is going to look so fabulous. I can't wait. So we have that. And last but not least, Donna, who is up at the house, has agreed to become the lead puppy management person. So Donna's primary role is going to be the puppies up at the house. She is going to be not only feeding them, she will be doing leash walking with them, making sure that they get to know the outdoors, get them over to the used parking lot area, get them used to nut house, bring them in and out. And one of the things that she's also going to be focusing on, which has never really been done before, excuse me, and that would be potty training these dogs. So when they get up from their nap, get them out the doors, get them used to going outside to go to the bathroom and then coming back in. That way when they come down here into the barn, they're not peeing and pooping all over their kennels. They'll know going outside is a wonderful thing. So Donna will be primarily doing that. She'll still be doing a lot of the mailings, and she'll be helping Linda with some of the paperwork, but doing the puppy marches, doing the dogs is going to be first priority. So that was very exciting news. So I'm looking forward to working with her on that. That's it. That's my 3 cards worth of information for this week.
All right, I'm up. What is your impression of the new puppies?
Oh, they're adorable. They're night and day though. So we have the little one, Callie, who is a sweetheart. She'll come right over to you and she would just put her paw on you, give you kisses. She's a sweetheart. And little Nessie, she's a little bit more standoffish. She has an opinion of Wilson already, which is not a pleasant one, so we have to really make sure that they are supervised when the three are together. But Nessie's a little bit more standoffish. She's a little shyer, a little bit more timid. But I think that she'll be coming out of her shell very quickly.
And then they also asked, what are your thoughts on the visit between Wilson and the girls?
Well, that was interesting. Again, they can't be together right now on a permanent basis. They can only have their puppy playtime supervised because Wilson just is so excited about having somebody else to play with, somebody who he's bigger than, and that's something that we do have to watch. We don't want him to hurt the puppies because he is bigger. We don't want him to hurt the girls in any way, but we also don't want the girls to get very defensive and start snarling and showing their teeth and going after Wilson either. So we need to make sure that everybody is happy, and when it's time out, it's time out.
How does SDP normally teach bite inhibition?
What we normally do is the same thing that a mother dog does, and that is the scruff of the dog's neck right down to the floor with a firm no. And it's almost like when we're walking the dog and we have the collar and leash around the dog's neck, and the dog is all of a sudden doing something. You give it a quick little snap and just say leave it or no. Same thing with the dog. The mother dog will grab the scruff, put it down to the ground, and we don't growl at the dog. We just say in a firm no. The dog then let it release. So it's just a quick release. And the dogs, it's only going to take a few times for them to realize that the word no means no. It doesn't mean keep going.
Someone's saying they can't hear us, but we really can't get a whole lot closer without.
Right.
All right. Have you considered giving the dogs a vaccine against Lyme? I thought we did.
We just gave Wilson his C5, and we chipped him. That was another thing that we did this week that I forgot about. But against Lyme, he's not even outside yet.
No, not just Wilson.
Oh.
I think they're saying giving the dogs. Don't we give them Lyme vaccines?
We give them the C5. We don't give them the Lyme.
Okay.
No.
They're just asking if you've considered it.
Yes, that's Carly and I have been talking about the lepto and all the information that's going around right now. We've had a little conversation about that, a little conversation about the Lyme vaccine. We haven't come up with anything. We haven't really stayed focused long enough in our conversation to actually come up with what we're planning on doing. I think that's something that we need to get our vet advisor also into this conversation with us.
Any news on Anna?
Anna's doing great. Lindsay still has Anna. We did bring her to Woburn, and they, for a swollen ankle, they did give her an anti-inflammatory, and I have to reach back out to Lindsay to find out how she's doing, because the vet called in when they did a quick, what do you call it, like a biopsy of her ankle to see if there was any fluid, which there is no bacteria, so we were wondering if it was another staph joint infection, which it is not. So hopefully the anti-inflammatory, she probably just pulled it running around with Tilly. She likes to play with Tilly. So as soon as I hear back from Lindsay about her, and we're also working on getting her possible placement with one of the vet techs over in Woburn.
Nice. Are there plans to have the HVAC ducts cleaned in the barn?
That is a Bud question. I have not heard exactly what is on his list, but I did talk to Carlene today about putting an ad in for a maintenance person. Hoping it's somebody who possibly is retired, who knows tools, could even, be a veteran. We're really not picky. It's just, it has to be somebody who knows how to utilize the tools.
The flyer for the Wolf Hill Garden Center's Small Business Saturday says they will have a raffle to benefit SDP, which is awesome, and that puppies will be there. Any thoughts as to which pups might get to go?
I don't know at this time. We've got another 2 weeks, so I don't know if we would pull maybe Moira. We might even go with a little bit older puppies, like Fred, who is our social butterfly. He's our Walmart greeter. We might bring him. It all depends. It depends on because we're so close to them also, that we may actually bring a couple, bring them back, have another handler, bring a couple of others, and that way they're constantly being rotated. I know that we have at least 3 handlers now that are going to be rotating the bigger dogs through there just to make their presence known.
Are you thinking that Wilson may move in with the girls at some point?
There's a good chance, but right now he's just overexcited. He's overstimulated, and I think the girls are also.
Do you have or will consider adding private, non-explored cameras to each kennel for the staff to monitor the dogs?
I looked into that a while back when we were dealing with the barking. We were looking at, what they're called. There are little cameras that shoot out dog treats, and they will tell you whether or not the dog is barking. We're looking into those. However, we don't have a great Wi-Fi in the barn to be able to operate cameras. That's one of our biggest issues. We don't have the power, the electrical outlets to be able to plug in every single one of these, and the Wi-Fi to be able to stream them. It would be choppy, they'd be going down. So unless we could do something with our Wi-Fi here, which I think we're bounced as far as we can bounce from where the Wi-Fi is actually, the router is actually located.
Okay, this one was for Elijah. He stepped out. It says, do you still have your service dog? I never see him with you. Yes, he still has a service dog, and he puts him in a kennel when he's working so he can work.
Yeah. Actually, his service dog right now is out playing with Jasmine.
Ah! Will you consider adding more items to sell as fundraisers in the future?
We are. That's one of the topics that our event and fundraiser team is going to be looking at. I would like to have some sort of an online fundraiser, possibly every 1 a quarter. And it would be the same one every year. So, when you want to think, oh, geez, I wonder when Service Dog Project will be having a fundraiser for quilts again. And, you say, oh, well, they did it last March. I bet they'll do it again this March. So if we keep consistency and so that you know when things are coming up well in advance, I think things will run a lot smoother when it comes to those things.
Our Facebook page should do something for Giving Tuesday.
Correct, right, and that's another one of our topics that are on there.
Someone suggested several of the old calendar images would make great greeting cards. I don't think they've sold very well. There's some greeting cards in the doggy bag. Someone wants to know, how are the calendars progressing?
We should have our calendar next week, I believe, the final to approve, go off to the printer, and we should have them the second week of December. So they are in progress. It's just with everything going on.
Who will go decorate the SDP Christmas tree that will be auctioned off? Part 2, will SDP also set up a tree for our doggos at Crazy Acres?
That's part of our Zoom meeting on Monday, who would like to go and decorate the tree. I know that Linda had even mentioned herself going, which I think is absolutely great. So it will be determined amongst the few staff members that will be on the call and also the volunteers. I would more than be happy to just give them the whole entire bucket of love that we got from all the supporters. Here you go, have at it, just send a great picture. So that will be posted on our website and social media as soon as it's done.
And will we have a tree here?
Possibly.
All right, we'll see.
Possibly, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
How is Judy? When will she be back, if you can say?
I actually touched base with Judy this morning to ask how she is doing. I mean, to me, it just sounds like such an excruciating surgery that she had on her hand, but then again, I am a wimp. But she said she is doing well. She had given me the timeline of 2 weeks, so, you know, I'm just going to kind of take that as it comes. I'm not going to push her, that's for sure, to come back. But, you know, she'll come back when she's ready, and, you know, of course, we will be more than happy when she gets here.
Will the Frost Trio be in the condo again when they visit? Scarlett will be 10 years old in 2 weeks.
So there is a good chance that the trio will be back over in the condo at night. They're only here for 2 nights. We try not to keep any of the dogs in the laundry building at night due to the resident that is upstairs. It's just, if barking is just way too noisy, so we try our best to keep everything as quiet as possible at night.
The reason the car lot kennel used to be 90% bed, 5% floor and water bucket, and 5% stairs was to encourage the pups to go outside to eliminate. Pups used to not be moved immediately from the house to the barn.
Correct.
So,
Correct, right.
all right, that's all I've got. One more comment. Get them in if you're gonna. How are your personal dogs?
My dogs are doing great. They're actually, 2 of them are here today. We have Bianca comes with me every day. She will just eat my house if she isn't with me. And I also have my non-Dane who thinks he's a Dane, and that's little Colton, little tan lab cross. He's here with me today and just running around. He's having a blast. And Watson and Gabby are at home with their dad. So they're fine. They're doing great.
I have no more, but it hasn't been, I think people have probably had enough time to type questions if they want to, though. It's almost 4. I got nothing new.
All right. So we have a busy week this week. We have some visitors coming, so just, you know, keep your eyes on the cameras and see who is here.
Have a great week, everyone.
All right. It's a wrap. Have a good one.
I answered for you. I said you put him in a calendar.